and welcome back on a nasally allergenic night of our review of Power Book 4 Fours. It's your boy Lou here, my guy Najir. What's going on tonight, sir?
Dude, somebody donate us both some Claritin or something because the allergies is crazy. In the DMV, we got a nice warm day. The trees are blossoming. Allergies on 1,000.
All the trees decided like today, like like they was releasing a kraken of pollen all on one day. Yeah. Like they like, you know what? We understand y'all want to record tonight, but y'all gonna be nasally through this whole recording. And now, before we jump into the finale, the last episode of the season, this will be our time to give a quick thought on what we believe, not only what this season was of Power, but in the pantheon of Power. How does this fit in? So what are your thoughts before we get into the finale? What were your thoughts? So this is kind of going into the finale. What were your thoughts about this season?
I'm happy, man. It's unfortunate that we got to wait about 6 months till we get the next Power show, whatever's coming out. So I don't know if it's Power Book 2 again or Kane or whatever it may be. It's unfortunate, but for the premiere season of Power Book 4 Force, it lived up to the hype. Joseph is fantastic. There was not a doubt there. Tommy Flanagan, who is just one of the best out there doing it. His casting was big news. He absolutely delivered thoroughly throughout the entire season. I'm glad that it looks like we're going to have some of him back for season 2. But I definitely want to give a shout out to all of the Chicago-based actors who really came through this season, really bringing that presence, that soul, that heart of Chicago into this, really making this series what it is. And then the writers were able to not only be able to tell their own story with Power Book 4, but still kind of stay very true to the Power universe. And we got some connecting factors in this episode. And I think that when we look at Tommy's arc from day one, it's super consistent, but yet it still continues to evolve. And I thought that was special. And man, imagine taking somebody like Liliana, who was a throwaway at one point, to making her one of the most interesting characters of this series. And that's just a testament to the writing. So up and down the board, man, the cast was fantastic. The folks that were, that were short-lived in this season, that, obviously by death, really left the impact. I mean, we're always going to ride for my man Simon. We even got a little nod back to Simon in this episode. We will talk about that a little bit later tonight. But overall, I enjoyed this, and I think that I'm not the one to rank amongst what was the best of the best, but I'm going to say that this one definitely is deserving to be within the conversations of the best of the Power seasons. This was up and down the board, a fantastic job, and Joseph is the man, and we just need more Joseph sooner. So figure it out, and let's get back to work, folks. And Christmas was canceled.
Well, we're not going to let you get away with thinking by the end of this review you're not going to rank the Power seasons. That is literally what everybody's tuning in.
I know, and then I get that wrong review. Wrong review. Did not get that from me.
Well, no, let me tell you. First is season 1 of Gold. Because that's all y'all want to hear. But my thoughts on this season were, this felt the first time that Power had fully evolved and grown up. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a way where we see the evolution of actual Power, the original series. That's what Force feels like, that form of evolution, where we're not necessarily stuck in the past of Ghost, or we're not stuck with the full ramifications of Ghost, but what we're looking at is a world beyond Ghost. And that's why it works here so much. Joseph is great in the show, but I don't think anyone expected anything less for him being great in the show. But for me, it was Isaac Keys, Chris Lofton, and Anthony Fleming. Like that trio of actors, like, mesmerizes you whenever they're on screen with one another, or whenever they're on the screen separately. It's just a certain amount of command they have and presence that they have when they come on screen that you pay attention to it. And sometimes it could be just in a soft-spoken type of role, which is Anthony Fleming's character JP. Completely, like, nothing about him seems forceful, but when he comes on, it's just a presence that makes you pay attention to everything that's going on with him, from the little flirtiness with Liliana, even though he was not flirting, she clearly was flirting all over JP. But even to the moments that we get in this episode, especially between him and Kate, like that's something also that you got to pay attention to. Again, Isaac and Chris, the CBI brothers, man, like it's hard to necessarily say just how great it was to see some of the softer moments of Diamond being shown versus the tougher moments of Jannar being shown, because you needed to see that contradiction between the brothers to fully understand that relationship. And that's what works the best on this show. This show is a show about relationships and then about family and how things can fracture families or how things can bring families together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. This is the first show I felt since the original Power that we get that play on family.
Yeah.
Because again, everything else was a little separate from that, and it was supposed to be. But here, when you get Tommy, the main character for lots of people from the Power universe that they were looking forward to, this show had lots of pressure on it. And no matter what you may think about the finale can never take away from a season. Like this season nailed it. It did everything it needed to do to establish Tommy separate from Ghost.
Yeah.
And that was the key part. You got to establish this character separate from Ghost and then get the respect that this character deserves that maybe we didn't show him in the original Power series.
Yeah. I just want to quickly say, because I feel like in our due diligence, one, to that point, as the audience, from looking at the original Power series, we always knew that that who Ghost was. We always know that James St. Patrick was Ghost. But from the show perspective, no one ever knew who Ghost was.
Mm-hmm.
Long-term storytelling, because we're back to that again. We're now in Chicago. They're saying this guy's like a ghost. And I know the word gets thrown around all crazy and whatnot.
All the time.
But that's the continuity within the writing of saying, like, let's not forget, y'all knew who Ghost was, but they never did. So the idea of saying that name not only is just a figure of speech, but it also is a label to this person. And that's what's also going to just draw like another mystique to this Tommy character, because while we see Tommy from one lens, the show sees Tommy from another lens. And we're seeing that kind of flip, because Tommy at one point was kind of just offhands, the sidekick, whatever it may be. Now we got him with more heart, more family oriented. He has his own establishment. And it's just that overall arc of Tommy now for what, 6, 7, 8 seasons now, but if you want to count Power Book 2 Ghost. This is fantastic storytelling. And then the last thing, and then let's get into it, is I definitely want to give shout outs to other folks that was on the show, because I know some of these folks do watch the show, and I definitely think they deserve a nod in their performances. Lily Simmons, obviously, as Claudia, has been really, really good. Can't wait to talk about her tonight. Gabrielle Ryan, who unfortunately, as Gloria, did not make it to the finale, but definitely one of my favorites in this season. And then Paulina, who was early in this, definitely made a quick impact in this. Gotta call out my man Phil Donlan. I mean, we'll be remiss if he didn't name my man.
I mean, come on. How dare you not mention the best actor that Power has ever had?
What's up, Phil? Hey, what's up, Phil? I know you're watching, so definitely cheers to you, brother. As Simon, and then obviously Lucien as D-Mac, and then Ahmad as Marshall. Folks that even in sometime minimum roles still was able to leave an impact on us this season. So overall, let's just be honest now. The one thing that
skip Jeremiah. How you skip Jeremiah?
and Jeremiah.
Thank you.
Jeremiah.
Hey,
Jeremiah.
Hey, we named everybody. Didn't even name Shane. Like, how did we?
Yeah.
But I mean, he's part of the main cast, of course. Like,
right. So we're definitely going to talk about Shane.
Yeah. We're trying to name the people who won't get the shine.
Yeah,
they should get, because maybe the role was a little small, but the impact was always there.
And let's not forget that Shane, in taking his role, is a complete 360 from anything he's ever done, and you know, we're going to talk about the character, but like, yes, absolutely Shane as well as too. And Barton Fitzpatrick, who plays Blackstone, a Chi-Town legend, shall we say, from the Chi, actually from Chicago, but from the show the Chi. And here we are again on another prominent Chicago-based show. So like up and down the board, man, folks were getting it in.
Hey, Freddie Gibbs. I can't
Freddie Gibbs, man. Freddie Gibbs, man. So folks, let us know.
Can't leave him out. No, sir.
Folks, let us know your favorite characters of this season, man. It's been a fun ride. We had fun times reviewing it, and we obviously got a lot more to say tonight. We still may have a interview for you. We had a minor scheduling conflict, which is out of our control because a guest that was going to be here is actually got moves coming up. You know, it's nothing like when that phone rings and they say, "Hey, we need you on set." So just let you know that's my word, their word to me, to you, to let you know that like we're going to work it out. But just stay tuned. There will be more power interviews coming. So there's that. So yeah, I think that's all of our our kudos to the cast and our thoughts about it. I think it's that time, right?
Hey, it's about time that we get into this episode 10, Family Business. Of course, as we talk about this show is about families. What's the name of the last episode? Family Business. And the first thing of Family Business to talk about is the conversation we've been waiting for, which is Vic and Tommy, about everything that Vic thinks. For some odd reason, we still have not figured out why Vic all of a sudden thinks that Tommy is sleeping with Gloria, and then he wants Gloria dead. We have yet to figure this fully out yet. But here in this conversation, what did you think about just the setup in general? Again, just a simple setup of a conversation between these two.
Yeah, listen, from all the things that we got from Power Book 2 Ghost in terms of everybody want to know the kids' ages, the Tejada's kids' ages.
Oh, man.
Vic age would have been way more important than anything right now, because I think that would establish his maturity, because the way how he felt emotionally towards Gloria, we get it. He's in love. But his rationality behind it is where I keep struggling to say, like, where are you at? Are you 22 or are you 32? Oh, because if you're 22, everything's justified. Everything's justified. You in love, you got a little bit of money, your family said you're the next hero of the throne, you're real ready. So you got the blinders up because you're the prince. You're not seeing nothing in terms of rationality or any type of common sense. So it makes sense. It checks out. But it's to be determined.
Look, I'm stuck because you said, like, if you're 22 or 32, and in my mind, I'm like, but both of those are children.
Listen, you know the whole
Man.
Let's just say generalization of your early 20s and
what I'm saying. The best way, what I'm trying to say is, in your 30s is actually where early 30s is where you act like Vic would act here.
I know it, not at all, sir. Stop it. I'm not gonna drop my age, but stop it. There's no fucking way.
Hey, the audience guessed your age the moment you said that.
No fucking
like,
way.
Oh, he must be like 32. Yeah, like
no fucking way.
I'm telling you, way. This is not your first love. Is that relationship that you feel like truly establishes who you are. That normally happens in your late 20s to early 30s. And we see that it's a time frame like they're not just getting together. So they probably have been together since he may have been in his 20s into his early 30s. Like that's a hell of a relationship to be in. And then the mindset makes sense. As the great philosopher Eve once told us, love is blind, and it will take over your mind.
We gotta stop doing that. We done named so many wrong philosophers.
But it just helps to say I fully understand his mindset here, because as someone who's completely blinded by love, no matter what happens, he's not gonna. Logic is not gonna pop into his head.
It's a role that if I was an actor, I would absolutely hate, but yet probably had a lot of fun in doing so, because it's just like I would never think this way, but we all forget how it was when we were first in love and we were young. So he's killing with that.
It's not just the love of Gloria. It's all honesty, is the love of his dad. He's believing everything his father is telling him.
Maybe. I mean, but again, I think that's I think that's a little bit of the immaturity, but yet the love.
It's that blind trust that kicks in.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially because if we pay attention to the season, he's been yearning for that respect, admiration from his father.
Not as much as Claudia. So
no, clearly not as much. But we also see Claudia did the exact same thing. It's not like Vic is on his own here with like just being blinded by that admiration that's needed. It's just that Vic is it goes to another level because of his love for Gloria, and he's at this point he got biker boy vision. He's not seeing anything else.
That's right.
And I kind of understand that, and I did like the scene with Tommy. If Tommy like trying to tell him, I want you to fully think, like Tommy had love for Gloria. Why would he want this to happen?
Let me back you up real quick because I feel like your terminology is just a little off on this. Like you fully understand the character because of where the character mindset is at, but there's no way you're sitting here saying that what he's doing is rational. Oh, correct?
No. Let's understand here.
Yeah, because you know when you say I fully understand, people start saying like, "Oh yeah, you would do that too." You know?
You can fully understand why someone does something and then still be an idiot.
Oh, for sure. So
I fully understand lots. I fully understand why Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. That does not mean I don't think he's stupid for doing it. And the same here with Vic. I fully understand why he did it,
right,
and why he thinks the way he does. But that doesn't mean he's right in anything he's doing.
Right. So to answer your question, I just want to be clear that I completely was clueless that Tommy was unaware that Jannar was the one that made the hit. So we didn't address that, and that's somehow that slipped under the radar here. But
I think we've been talking about that this whole time.
No. We never established last episode that Tommy did not know that Jannar didn't do it. I guess because of how it was done, it was just like, oh, the hit happened and to the hospital in the episode. But I guess we never realized that, like, oh, he didn't realize that it wasn't.
But keep in mind, he's not known this whole time that Jannar's wanted him dead. We know it as the audience.
Right. But I'm just saying that, like, in that styling of a hit, it is to me.
Oh, chill. You're jumping ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying that I wasn't aware because this happened early in the episode. I was unaware that Tommy did not know who made the hit. Now, to this point, to the question, what did I think about this? First of all, I thought it was very evident that Tommy, especially because of how his psychology has been built this entire season, that very early in the season, so early as far as the first episode, the last 10 minutes of the episode, Paulie and them set a pit move on him, military tactic. That is the way of the Irish. They're calculated.
Yes.
So you thought that somebody drove through to try to make a hit on you, and it was by some. Let's call it what it was. It was definitely some. There's a really good word for here, and I can't think of the word. But it was definitely some hood shit. And the fact that it's process of elimination, sir. So okay, cool. The Serbs are on your side, so they didn't do it. Also, you know how the Serbs operate. You've been dealing with them for years, and also you know.
You're talking about. Okay, well, that's about Tommy's hit. Yeah.
Right. So you know, and again, this is because like this with the conversation with him and Vic, he's basically like, hey, I didn't do that. Check your facts. And he's also like, well, wait, who the hell put the hit out on me? So there's a lot of like people putting the puzzles together. While Tommy's actually trying to do the work, Vic is actually just trying to just take out Tommy.
Exactly. He's just so blinded that he lost the love of his life. At that point, he's not rational. Tommy is rationally thinking about who put his hit out on him. Vic is like, I don't care, you did it, and I gotta kill you. It's just the rationale and the difference between the two. But let's get to the next thing, which is Mirkovich and Tommy having a conversation. As you kind of jumped ahead to it, which is when he asks him, I need you to find out more information on who put this hit out on me. And then he goes and says, I also need 2 of your best hitters. Now, we're not going to focus on him saying, I need you to find out who put the hit out on me. I'm going to ask you, what did you think Tommy's plan was when he said, I need 2 of your best shooters to go with me?
I had no clue. And everything he did was so unpredictable.
Him
having somebody set up at the hospital, didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming at all. But everything he did was completely unpredictable to me. So Tommy was thinking 10 steps ahead in this situation. And while everybody's suiting up for war, you think he's walking around with personal escorts? Absolutely not. He was setting up pawns or in position. This was a chess. This whole episode was chess, and he set his pawns up in a position to set up a trap, and it worked. It worked to the point that it's so unbelievable that it worked. But we'll talk about it.
After I saw the first move, the first thing that came to mind is on a teaser trailer of the first season of Power Book Ghost. When you see Tariq sitting down at a chessboard and he's moving all the pieces around, to see the setup, and that's when I said, "Oh my goodness!" Like when he put two shooters, I'm like, I get it now. He's like, I just need a team with me because then I can execute all of these moves. But at the time when that move was made, I was like, okay, that's kind of odd. Like, is he going to go protect D-Mac? Because we understand his love for this kid. Is he going to go protect D-Mac? That's why he needs the two shooters. And then we see the plans coming to fruition, which I don't care who said. I don't care how much power you've ever seen before. You didn't see that setup.
Not at all.
No one saw that setup.
But listen, let's just be real now. You know, folks gonna be like, I knew it. Of course I knew he's gonna do that. But I digress.
Of course. Next up, and I thought this was a very pivotal moment of this episode when Diamond is talking to his reporter girlfriend, because that's what I'm gonna call her, reporter girlfriend. Reporter girlfriend, when he talks about the concerns of his lifestyle and of attempting to change his lifestyle. I thought this was a highly important conversation because this is the first time we see the conflict of Diamond and him wondering, did he make the right moves and right choices? What did you think about, again, it's not a big scene, but what did you think about just that short conversation before Jannar's call comes through where we find out that he's setting up Diamond to hit Diamond? What did you think about just him and that short conversation where he kind of shows regret about possibly some of the decisions he's made since coming home?
All right, so because you know I'm not going to answer the question. I literally was thinking like, well, how many heads did he cut this season? 2. Jannar being 1 and some other random folks. Why the hell are you even in the shop at this point? That's what I was thinking. Like, why the hell are you at the shop at this
They're not going to show every cut of it. No, this is not barbershop. Ice Cube, Cedric Container is not in there.
He got gifted a whole cutting set. Use it.
Maybe he was in that joint really like giving shape ups.
Use it.
Matter of fact, we need content. Hey,
we
Diamond,
need the power pop-up shop right now.
Isaac, we coming. Hey, you can come through on the podcast and just give us a shape up.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
like, you
hey, look, listen, stars, the power pop-up shop with Isaac cutting. It's money to be made. Folks are going to take those $50 haircuts with ease. So 50. Make it. 50. Oh, you know, it's celebrity. You know how that is. No, celebrity.
That's what I'm wondering. When you get 50, I pay 45 to a non-celebrity barber.
True.
You better go up. That's 150. That's $300 for a haircut.
That's true. But no, honestly, my thoughts about this was just like, okay, okay. I got you. Wow. But seriously though, it was telling because now everything makes sense for the rest of the episode. That's
exactly.
It. Because he's been 9 episodes and very much like, I ain't going back. And this one was like, but
it's the ultimate conflict.
Yeah,
that comes up here. Is that okay? Maybe I'm not sure if I'm making the right decision. It's the thought of maybe Jannar was right. Maybe I can fully understand. Granted, we know that's not the case, but maybe I can understand why Jannar feels the way he does. I think that was the conflict that Diamond was going through at that moment of him just like realizing like, okay, in all honesty, I came home and completely changed up. Did I do the right thing by doing that? And I think that is the issue that he had. Next up though is something we brought up last episode, and that was what would happen when the Horsemen reported back to Dublin about what was going on.
Oh, I cannot wait to talk about it. Hold on, really quickly too. I just want to clear up one thing. I've been saying, so I feel like I need to say this, is that maybe you, but I felt like there was a conflict as to what side Black was on.
Yes,
and when he ran up in the shop, that's when I say he picked this side. That's the only other thing I said, and it was very, for Diamond to have the wherewithal of getting that call, knowing what's up. was really dope. But like more importantly was just Black picking his side here, because we thought maybe he's
maybe he set up, maybe Diamond set it up to get more information out of Jannar.
Yeah,
but here we clearly see he was there for Jannar.
And I just want to say that I would love that angle a lot more. And I also want to say towards the very end of the episode where we do get the one CBI person that's kind of like, what? So I hope this storyline is somewhere embedded to a new character in terms of the conflict as to what is happening between CBI and somebody that's either playing Mole or somebody that's, you know, playing both sides. But I think we deserve that type of character in terms of the conflict between the two brothers. But we'll talk more about that later.
Maybe that'll be Marshall down the line. But hey, we still got him here, so maybe it could be Marshall down the line. But again, here is where the Horsemen bring up concerns. Dublin is worried about Walter's control over Chicago. As he said, the money's not coming in the way it used to come in. We're wondering, do you have the influence to actually push through? How the hell is this one guy, Tommy Egan, such a big concern? I know, again, we brought this up as if you bring the Horsemen in, if you bring Flair and Arn Anderson in, this is going to be part of the problem. What did you think when it's revealed that, okay, Dublin is that they're actually looking into this as it being an issue?
Right. So when we were watching this episode, just going to say that there was a moment where I was just like, I can't wait till we do the review, because this is the biggest I fucking told you so moment ever. This was the and again, I loved how this was done, because this was it was a lot, not only the reassurance of what we were thinking, but it was all the right questions being asked. Is your dad still up for the job? And how could this one dude be stirring up all the trouble? And let's just call it what it is. Dublin's not happy. They're looking into this. As I said, this is much like Twilight, folks. And I don't care what you all have to say about not liking that series. This is much like Twilight and the Volturi looking at the Cullens and saying, oh, so y'all just think y'all can just do whatever y'all want and not report back. And either, you know, we have a code that we live by. And in this case with the Flynns, it's just like, the finances ain't rolling the way we are. Everybody is aware of what's going on here. So for something that was, you know, sustaining for this long, we got questions. And that's not, and listen, the Horsemen are just the messengers. So even they're a little bit fearful, like, listen, I got bad news for you all. Winter is coming. So
hey, there you go. That's the comparison right there.
So because I mean that's the other thing, like while they were having a celebration with the drinks and all, I just want to say
no sense.
No, yeah,
who are you celebrating?
It must be an Irish thing to celebrate before it goes down. But I will say either that or everybody was definitely like, well, might as well get these last drinks in, because either way we're done. Hey, we don't win this war or whatever, we're done.
The Jameson was flowing that night. I don't know if the lead horseman came on and said, I spent more money on spilt liquor.
Hey, yo.
But again, it's just very telling again that this move that Paulie kind of warned ahead of time Walter about, this could bring unwanted attention. Yeah, and here that is shown. It brought a heck of a lot of unwanted attention, because it brought to mind, like, is your father still up for the job of running Chicago?
Yeah.
And maybe we need to make a move to have someone else do it, because again, the money's also not coming in. Another issue, which I love about Power, because they always do it, they lay seeds at the beginning of the season and show you at the finale how they pay off. We heard seeds at the beginning of the season that the money wasn't flowing the right way anymore. Like they weren't selling or moving as much product as they used to.
Yeah.
So for them to bring up like, hey, that the other issue is the money is not the same anymore. And now you're bringing this bigger issue that we have to come and solve. This is a problem. But next up,
hold on. I knew he's going to jump a little bit. And again, this is the moment where we pay homage to Simon, because the same place that Tommy caught his first body is the same place that he caught his last body in his, or one of his last bodies in this season. Same place. While Simon got his head beat, one of the horsemen got head and got his head beat.
Oh yeah, I was actually gonna bring that up. Like,
okay, let's go.
Because this is where we see Tommy's plan play out. Yeah. Which after this happens, we get Walter then stepping in and saying, "I'm taking complete control." Now here's where I was confused at.
Oh,
you literally called the horsemen in because you couldn't control the situation. One of them happens to die because, you know, the Jameson is flowing. Everybody's lovely. They like having like just the party of all parties for some odd reason. One dies, and then you step in and say, "I'm taking over." It didn't fully make sense to me. What were just your thoughts? Again, we talked about your thoughts already on the party. What were your thoughts about Walter's approach after we find out what Tommy did?
Okay. First off, I started to question because I'm thinking you calling in the horseman. I'm like, oh, this is like the ultimate care package. You play Call of Duty. This is like when you get 12 kills in that AC1, what is it? The AC-130, I think it is, whatever it is, the big chopper, the chopper gunner. It's like when you call that in, you're just like, yo, things about to go down, and you get no kills. So I'm like, this is very underwhelming. You bring in the big guns and they do nothing. And I guess the only other way to kind of attest this is like, much to your statement, this is like Walter becoming Thanos and these other folks becoming the Black Order, where they're just like, all right, well, Thanos is like, I'm gonna go collect the stones myself, and he got these other folks with them, but then one get washed real bright and early. You're just like, oh, okay, I thought they were actually supposed to be like top tier elite killers. Oh, I guess not. So I mean, maybe it's just standard. I mean, you've seen the same thing. If anybody watch, I'm not even going to mention that movie because it's so bad. But if anybody watched that other X-Men movie that happened with the same type of setup, it's like these things kind of happen all the time, I guess. So, but I was just underwhelmed because they kind of built them up to be like the real deal. And my man got eavesdropped at base.
What, like, here's the thing, and I'm just going to say this without jumping ahead too far. My biggest issue with this episode, and it's not a big issue overall, the horsemen were trash.
Oh, absolutely. Like, literally, the first thing I said, it was so underwhelming. My first note says the horsemen were underwhelming. Liliana and Tommy killed the horsemen.
Like, it made no sense. They reminded me, again, I hate to give y'all wrestling analogies. I'm in the 90s. I don't watch wrestling now. So I'm thinking Four Horsemen, and instead it's the like crew. What was the crew with Gangrel and Edge?
Oh, that's good. But it's the Brew. It's the Brew.
The Brew.
Stop it. Like, good. That's not even a good one. But
to me, it is because they was trash. As the Brew, they was trash.
How about like the Latino World Order or something like that? They wasn't the NWO, but they was just like the Latino World Order. He's just like, yeah, this is not working.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't come across as a threat that it needed to be, or maybe it didn't because it kind of showed the threat that Tommy was.
I still don't like it. It.
Oh no, I'm not. I understood the first kill because that was a beautiful setup.
For sure.
Because clearly he had that girl on his side from the beginning to do that setup. That was a beautiful setup. I didn't understand how Walter all of a sudden, after the conversation we just had, the scene before could then come in and say you're going to take over. That literally makes no sense.
Yeah.
But again, I digress. Because why even talk about it? The next scene of importance, and let me make sure because I clearly keep all the notes in the world. The next scene of importance is JP and D-Mac having their conversation at the hospital. This is the first time that these two characters knowing who each other are, because JP has never known who D-Mac is. D-Mac clearly knew who JP was.
I don't know if this is in the same order, but just to be clear, this is also the moment where after they observe the body being hung, Claudia tries to interject and says, "Hey, Dad, I know what." Hush, girl. Now,
I just let this. Yeah,
that
was in the scene with Walter. I think we talked about everything else. I didn't talk about how he disrespected Claudia again.
Right,
but he repeatedly disrespects her this episode.
Absolutely. This is why my point of this was that Claudia was ready to blow up her. At this point, I said Claudia's ready to blow up her whole operation for that acceptance from her dad, but she was never going to be 100% honest. That's what I was.
Well, she did. Yeah, she did later on in the episode when she clearly blew up everything humanly possible just to get on her father's good side, and for him to say, "All right, now let the men handle this."
Yeah, and it's also basically, and it also was interesting that Tommy asked, like, "Hey, are we good on the business, or like you got beef too?" And meet at the lab, and
the double entendre he used there. Like, are we in like Flynn? For people, everybody know the saying "in like Flynn." We've heard it a million times.
Yeah.
But for them to be the Flynns and say, "Are we in like Flynn, or do we got beef too?"
Yeah, like, I loved it. But yeah, let's go to D-Mac.
I swear that's a rap line. But again, we get here with JP and D-Mac meeting for the first time, fully understanding that they're father and son on both ends of it, with JP understanding that's his son. Again, it's a quick meet. He's in and out at this point in time, where I don't know what drugs he's on in that hospital, but they must be marvelous drugs in that hospital.
Morphine.
LSD. But from this conversation, we also get Tommy coming into the picture, and then we get, it seems like an understanding amongst the brothers of like, hey, I know you're mad that I didn't tell you who this is, but I know who this kid is, and I'm going to do everything in the world to protect this kid. This is the side that we love to see of Tommy in power. This is the side that protected Tariq through everything that him and Ghost was going through. Did you see any form of correlation from the old Tommy versus this new Tommy in this scene?
Yeah, there's glimpses of it. You can see it. He's tethering between what he's used to doing and also starting to establish in something new. But I gotta correct you really quick.
Oh,
his name is Darnell, so don't be calling him D-Mac no more.
Hey, my man Jay, he had to let everybody know.
That's my son.
Darnell.
But listen, I gotta say also too, how the hell, because I got questions. How the hell is Tommy picking up a tab at a hospital before he's even discharged?
Hey, that does happen.
No, it doesn't. You get billed after you up out of there.
I watch enough Chicago Med to understand they charge you ahead of time in Chicago. Maybe it's a Chicago thing. They're like, look here, you may be a gangbanger. We need our money up front just in case you die. So in Chicago, they ask for money.
I'm so done.
My biggest issue was,
I'm so done.
What medical records from him being 3 would they need with him being 17, 16, or 18 that is relevant at all? That was my issue. Where he said, hey, I need you to go get these medical records. I'm like, wait a minute. You ain't been around D-Mac for many of years. I don't think they need the medical records when you cut his umbilical cord. I don't think that's going to do that's not going to help them at all here in this case. That was my issue.
Yeah, and then also, like, if it was like some type of genetic thing, then also didn't his great grandma just die here?
So when do we have everything
in potentially the same room? But
hey, here you go, my guy. You're here. How about, since your brother's paying for everything else, we just run blood work off of you? We'll find everything.
Yeah, that's.
But again, this is we got it with Ghost. When Tariq can run everywhere humanly possible. Here, Tommy can pay every bill and we can run every medical test humanly possible. So I didn't even question it. It's not a big thing to question. It was just an interesting thing.
You better have questions this next one. You better have questions this next thing, because I know what you're getting towards that, because I got questions, but let's go.
Wait a minute. For me, the next thing is Diamond torturing Blackstone.
How the fuck
did he get Blackstone? Look here, I don't know. I didn't ask questions here. I'm just like, Diamond, that dude. Like, clearly,
all right, fine. We'll go with that.
Clearly, we're just gonna go with Diamond's that dude, and that he tortures Blackstone just to get the information he kind of already knew. I think this comes across. This comes across of, I love my brother so much. I need confirmation that he's trying to kill me before I do anything. What did you just think about? Tell me what you thought about this whole setup, about him torturing Blackstone to get information he kind of already knew, because according to the last episode, he clearly heard this conversation already. So that should have been his confirmation.
I tell you what, I hated this because for all his worth, I would have kept Blackstone on for another season. I would have tortured him, kept him alive. But the fact that he just somehow got captured, even though he ran up in the spot before the folks. So when did you catch him alone? So many questions. And then Black snitching, saying it was Jannar. And then he basically said that the reason all this is going down is because your bitch ass changed. You got soft. So that's the beef. Because he went to jail and decided I'm not going back, and you're just like, oh, you're supposed to come out and be a hitter again, whatever it may be. I just was like, whatever. but like, to give like an educated response to this is that, like, also this scene had to happen because of the conversation he had with his chick.
Yes.
Now we see the residuals of the conflict of saying that if he got in a situation, would he do it? Well, here you go.
I can go even further here. And I know it's a hell of a comparison to make, and it's not a full comparison to make.
Is it Twilight again?
No, it's not. It's not. It's never.
Okay.
I'm never gonna compare anything to Twilight.
I got you. 2 more Twilight references coming very soon. I bet.
We didn't understand the threat that Darth Vader was until you saw the scene at the end of Rogue One, because you need to see what he's willing to do to someone for you to fully understand why he's a threat. And I think that's what this scene was more about for Diamond. It was about showing, oh no, Diamond's about that action. Because this whole season, we've seen him be the passive guy. The guy who's like, I don't want to go back to this life. What is it that you don't want to go back to? Here in this scene is a short glimpse. And then we see it in another scene where he does with Blackstone's body. Like, that's the glimpse of who Diamond is.
Okay. And who he was, essentially.
And who he was, and the person that Jannar wants him to still be.
Yeah.
I thought that was the main point of this scene.
Okay.
You didn't need confirmation. You knew that way before anything else. That's why you ran when Jannar called.
Also, I will say that also, I guess this makes sense because we also see why Jannar got as desperate as he did, because he's seen like, oh shit, my old brother's back. But here's the issue with that. If he knew that his brother did that and this made him go, because you remember, Jannar is like pro-Black. Jannar is like, I'm not dealing with Tommy. I'm not dealing with the Flynns. I'm not dealing with the Serbs.
We're going to say he pro-Black. We're not going to say that. He's not pro-Black.
Okay, right. But I mean, in terms of business,
he licked Liliana's face.
True, right. Yeah. Weirdo. But like, remember, he didn't want to work with the Flynns. That was a no.
Did not.
He obviously didn't want to work with the Serbs. He tried to kill him. Should we just throw out the Pilgrims out there for one more time? He definitely wasn't fucking with them. But the biggest thing,
R.I.P. R.I.P. to the Pilgrims.
Yeah, and everything else they've been called this season. R.I.P. to that too. But I think it was important because now we see a level of desperation from Jannar, because now Jannar is saying like, I'm willing to take a meeting with Walter in order to try to get my brother out of here. The issue here is that you find your brother as a threat. Sure, I feel you, but also does not solve your initial issue with your brother, because now he's back to his shit. He's back to where you want him to be, and you can't tell me no different, because that's what Blackstone literally said, that, oh, you ain't about that life no more. You went to jail, you got out of the game, blah 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 blah.
We didn't gotta go by what Blackstone said. Literally later on in an episode, that's literally what Jannar says.
So I
mean, again, that's why it doesn't fully make sense. But that's neither here nor there. We got to talk about the biggest part of this episode, the part that we knew was coming. But when it came, it still hit you a certain way. Kate destroying Miriam's house to look for money, and it's the funniest shit in the world to me. I mean, this is all based off of everything happening with D-Mac, and JP's sending Tommy to get D-Max baby records for some reason that we still don't know or fully understand why. But then we get Kate, the character we've been waiting to see, as she's going through Miriam's house looking for money. I just got a question, and I need you to answer it here.
I hope it's a ranking, because this is the only ranking I'm doing.
No, it's not even a ranking. The last time we saw Kate, her other black son left her money. Why is Kate broke and searching through the house for more money?
Listen, she does not have a Coke supply. That means she is blowing it on the blow. That's what that means right there.
Man,
she is blowing it. She's blowing it down. Listen, I want to talk about Kate for like 40 minutes if I could, like, to be honest, because first of all, Kate being back is just fantastic. I know we got the quick cameo, but Kate is the most lovable, hateable character in all of Power. And to be honest, of all of the Power, and including BMF, because you know they that's kind of Power too, as they like to say. It's funny that they call 50 Cent like, you know, like the EP of the Power universe, and then they name the shows and they just put BMF at the end of it. Like it's just there.
It's
but
another connection.
But Kate is the worst mom of all. Not
whoa. I don't know.
Who?
I don't know. Rock may have Kate beat.
Not Rock. Wait, who? What else did we? Oh, well, if we're talking about the shows we review, Sissy's coming.
See, Valley. she fought her daughter for her money.
and tried to put religion.
Exactly. I mean, Sissy Van Saint is there now.
Yeah,
we gonna lie.
I
don't know if Kate's the worst mother.
Hold on, it's something else we just watched.
Big Mama ain't much better. Especially for what she did to our baby. Big Mama ain't much better for what she did to baby Yaz.
Hey yo, hold on. I feel like there's still somebody else we just said was the worst mom we've ever seen.
I'm not just gonna let you get over when I said Rock and you said I don't know. We literally saw Rock with a face mask on, having Kanan cook crack.
Yeah,
hair part.
I'm gonna teach you the game. Yeah, she did. She said it so cool. I started taking notes. Like, I'm not even playing. I was like, yeah, I guess that's how you do this shit. Bro.
Hey, Rock did it so good. I was like, why didn't my mother teach me how to cook crack?
For real, like she had me. I was in that joint like, wait, what? So. But I mean, like, Kate is just it's a character that we want forever on Power. She just brings a presence. Fantastic acting. I do not know the actress name, but she's fantastic.
Don't we? That's the weirdest part of it all.
It's because we never thought she was ever going to be a reoccurring character. She never has, but that's the thing. She's such a pivotal character who's always had a limited role, which is telling you that's what good acting is. But I said, fucking Kate, looking for money, ready to rob her own mother's house. She continues to break the barrier in terms of what a bad mom is. She just says, that was bad. Let me one up that. But here's the thing. She dropped some major tidbits. Oh, you kill one brother, you here to kill another? Whoops.
Yeah, we already knew who that was.
Whoops.
Because she still thinks that Tommy killed Ghost.
Yeah, and then Tommy said, if you're looking for JP, he's broke. So I got bad news for you. But here's my thing. She's very excited to see her grandson. And then she also said that, Tommy, you never gave me one. That hurt. Straight up, that hurt. Tommy didn't even have nothing back for that one. He was just like,
he did. He wanted to say, I had a son, and you refused to accept him. Because Tommy has a son.
Yes. I mean, not Yaz. Cash.
There you go. You don't disrespect. Don't disrespect Cash. That is Tommy's son.
Wait. And what's was pregnant? Holly was pregnant.
Holly was pregnant. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Man, talk about the mental of the character here. And again, that's why I said that scene when they kind of showed him for a second, Paul. I said, oh, he's hurt from that one. That was a low blow.
He was really hurt from that one.
And that's why he said, take your money and go home. And that's why I don't think he necessarily hates his mom to the.
Oh no, I've never thought. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Doug.
No, yeah, because a lot of people think he hates her by the definition of hate. No. I think he just he can't be around her because of these things. This is what happens.
It's hard to explain it. unless you've been in a situation where you have a parent that every time they're around you, they hurt you, but you still crave for all the love that you want them to give you. That's why Tommy was so mad that JP reached out to Kate. It wasn't because he hates Kate. It's literally because he loves her. But he understands how bad she is for him. Because this scene that they have together here, it goes from Tommy like, all you want is money. All you want is this. Let me get a hit of this cigarette. Let us have a conversation. I'll do what you want me to do. Keep in mind, all Kate wanted to see was grandson. And what did Tommy say? Not right now, but I'll make sure that you see him.
Yeah.
He still makes sure she gets everything she wants.
Yeah, it's definitely love. It's and love isn't just, this linear type of, reciprocation to one another. So it's that. And I the one other thing I just want to add is that, and if y'all don't think she loves him, the mother, and all of us have experienced this, that mother's intuition, she knew he was in trouble.
Yep.
And you know what else is crazy? This is the craziest thing. This is the really emotional thing for me in this episode. There's another character that did the same thing, and it starts to make me think, did she love him too? And that's Liliana, where she sat back and said, like, no, when Tommy gets like this, like, for all the folks that have significant others and whatnot, I'm sure you've heard your significant other speak for you in a way that only they would know. When it's like, oh, when he's like that, or when she's like that,
time to go.
Gotta leave him alone or give him a second. That's love. That's the connection. And Liliana saying that, I was like, the first thing I thought was like,
she said, I've been around Tommy when he's like this.
I started thinking like, how much time? I started thinking about how much time left in this episode, because I was just like, oh boy, that was a gem drop. That was almost a throwaway line, but I mean, it just shows you that like folks really care about Tommy. And Tommy really cared about folks too, and he lost a person. I would almost go as far as saying he loved Liliana. I mean, he even called her.
He absolutely loves Liliana.
Didn't he call it Lala or something? He dropped like a pillow talk name. He called her something. He called her Lily or Lala or something.
I don't think he called her Lala.
He called her Lily or Lala, and I was like, what? But either way, it was a nickname that we had not heard before. So I was like, whoa, like what the fuck?
But this is a different form of love for Tommy. This is not different. This is
not romantic.
No, it's equivalent to his love for Tasha.
Yes, exactly. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Last thing I want to say is, because I know I give Kate a lot of props, I also got to like shatter that shit real quick. Kate is what y'all all fear. Kate is Miley Cyrus of mothers. She is out here saying, wow, I love all of my black kids,
but none of my white kids.
Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next. And if I wanted a Miley Cyrus correlation, that's because of Miley Cyrus and her culture voting for hip hop and rap during that period. And everybody
it was not Miley Cyrus's fault, because Mike Will made it. But next up is the Flynns.
Let me cut my camera off for a second. What? Where the fuck did you write that or something? Like,
hey, all this shit's off the dome. Damn.
Hey, we might gotta get you to drop some bars, man. I've been waiting to sing the lyrics to Streets Need a Body. I'm just waiting to the right point. But let's go.
The next up is the big meeting from the Flynns about Tommy and about what to do with Tommy. In this meeting, the biggest thing is we see Claudia completely blow up her connect by letting them know, hey, again, as you said, someone who will do anything for a father's love. Again, the running theme of this episode is doing anything for your family, anything for her father's love. And she decides to say, I know exactly where Tommy is. He's going to be at this lab. I found out from one of my club connects that he's going to be at this lab. What I want to talk about here is Paulie and Vic.
I knew it. I knew you going there.
Both of them say the smartest thing in this episode.
We need more time to plan.
We need more time to plan this out. This doesn't seem right. When Vic says that, and Paulie says, I second Vic. Here's where we see the reverse of Vic not fully leading with his heart, and him like, okay, we understand what she's saying, but it also shows the disrespect for Claudia. Like, how would she get this information? We need to research this a little bit more before we go out here and try to hit this up. What do you think? Because this is something highly important, and then it comes back in full into fruition at the end of this episode with Tommy. What do you think about Claudia just willing to blow up the lab that supplies everything she's always wanted?
Right, because she's still being half honest about it. So that's the thing. We're starting to see her pull back the banana just a little bit more. There's a lot to make here, and I'm gonna try to keep this short. First of all, Claudia started to get the reassurance from her pop, so that's a win, because he was like, "Look at that, somebody's doing their job." So she's happy, which is a weird dynamic, because we're waiting for Walter to be like, now go back in the kitchen and cook the chicken. So to me, it's Walter almost saying,
"Hold up, shepherd's pie."
Shepherd's pie. You're right. You're right.
Not cooking chicken.
So to me, it's like Walter's like, I'm gonna take what I gotta get, but like Claudia can do all this front she want, but she's never gonna do it. So like, I'm still waiting for Walter to like lay down his big joker. While you may got your ace of spades in your hand, but like it's cool because Walter's like, no problem. And it's like Claudia thinks she's getting leverage, and little do we know it ain't going nowhere. But I love the Vic and Paulie thing, because that's what you said about 2 episodes ago, that you said that Paulie's very fond of Vic. Nobody else believes in Vic, but Paulie does. And
1,000% so.
And I think it's like one of those, like, I wish this was my son. And I think Paulie, with the right time, could groom Vic to be somebody truly special. Because that's the thing. No one's invested into Vic. They want Vic to do a job, but no one's giving him the tools. Paulie, on the other hand, is sitting there probably like, yo, I just need 5 minutes with this dude, and I can make it right. And I think that's where he kind of came. We gotta say, Paulie's pretty soft-spoken.
Yes,
Paulie kind of came left field, was like, I agree with him. And I was like, whoa. And to me, the very, very immature thing about Vic here, and because I love my movie analogy. If we're going to do it, we're going a different route this time. We're going Greek mythology. In the movie of Troy, when Hector, son of Troy, was killed by Achilles, I can't think of his brother name, but when his brother was like, I'm going to avenge my brother, he's like,
we're just gonna call him Eric Bana.
Yes.
Who's the actor's name? Okay.
Like whoa, you don't even to hold a sword, and you're getting ready to go.
Oh wait, no, that was Oliver Bloom.
Yeah, it's Oliver Bloom. Yeah, because Hector was
Eric Bana.
Right.
So, Orlando Bloom. I said Oliver Bloom.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but yeah. So you never even knew how to hold a sword. Your brother already exposed you of that 10 times over. Your brother just saved you from another fight. Therefore, that's why Achilles came to come kill your brother. And you think you're going to go revenge your brother, sir? You're way out. You're way underqualified for it.
Exactly.
So Vic, twice in this episode, thought. And that's just that. So it's just funny that like Vic is blinders with big heart anime googly heart eyes, like Gloria, and it's just it's crazy that he didn't get killed. Crazy.
Not the damn it, not the Gloria scream. But hold up, we have so much left in this episode. We're close to an hour. It's the finale, which I expect. We're still going to try to breeze through some of this stuff, because some of the stuff is just set up things. Next up, we have the setup to show that Diamond is that dude, as he lays the body of Blackstone at Jannar's amazing place. I don't know where the fuck Jannar is. It's his house next to Oprah's. Why is he able to drive into his living room? I have so many questions. But here we just see that, again, not much to talk about. Again, it's just to show who Diamond is and to establish the fear factor, I want to say, for Jannar about Diamond. Again, unless I'm missing something, because that's all I saw this scene as being.
I promise I'll be quiet. It has nothing to do with the scene, but I promise I got to bring up this one thing. Are we going to talk about the lab fight? If not, okay.
Because you remember, right after Diamond did that is when Tommy sets up the Flynns at the lab.
Excuse me, that's incorrect.
He did not set up the Flynns at the lab?
There is no way in any
I'm not talking about the execution of the setup. I said it was a setup. We are not gonna go into. Matter of fact, fuck that. I am not. I have enough guns. I have enough everything. I know how this should have worked. But we're going to say this was supposed to be a setup by Tommy. I'm gonna let you go though. Go ahead.
Like I say, folks, we got the most infamous line of Tommy Egan. We're gonna light this up like the 4th of July because Christmas is canceled.
Hey, that's all we've been waiting for.
That's all we wanted. 10 episodes, we got it. Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna say, if you watch boxing, you know the most dangerous thing in boxing is having your back against the ropes, having your back in the corner, unless you're just Floyd Mayweather, who is a counter fighter, and there's no other Floyd Mayweathers. I would even go with some of the best pound for pound fighters, such as Canelo Alvarez, is not good on the ropes. That's why you go out in the middle.
Here you go.
Can talk about Tank.
I'll give you a better analogy. Floyd ain't good on the ropes unless it's against people he knows he's that much better than.
True. So, yes, right.
You should not put yourself in. But I'm gonna let you go because I understand your analogy and what you're bringing up. Because I have questions after this happened.
For all you Tank fans, Tank is trash on the ropes. We've seen him get hit a bunch of times in a row, and we'll see what his next fight look like because there's a big fight to come with that one. Now that Whistle-Face is back, but that's for another podcast. But listen, how the fuck do you set them up and you pin yourself in the back of the lab with no escape? And then you got these tactical folks that, I'm sorry, when we looked at that table, I'm pretty sure I saw a grenade in there. Am I wrong? Beyond that, I saw a light machine gun. I saw a bunch of things.
None of this setup made sense because when they walked in, when this was supposed to be a setup, and the two first guys come into that room, it should have been 2 headshots immediately because I'm not wasting shooting at your body. I'm assuming you had body armor on.
Yeah, and either
2 headshots immediately. I need to take you out, and you stagger your people. The last thing I need is for all of us to be in the same place. If we're all in the same place, it's not even a moving target. We are Peyton Manning in a pocket at this point because we're all in the same place. It made no sense for that setup. But that does not mean it wasn't a setup because that's what Tommy said, as he said, we're going to cancel Christmas.
Yeah, Walter also said it was a setup too. It was not a setup because you never pinned yourself in a situation. They had no way of escaping but shooting their way out of it. And that's definitely the worst scenario.
Did they not even prepare for smoke grenades as being an option?
Not at all. Tommy was just like, smoke. Oh.
Dog, listen. When dude throws a smoke grenade and Tommy rises up through the smoke to shoot him, I said, clearly he's a superhero at this point. Somebody must have called for family or something because he clearly turned into Vin Diesel right there.
Now, Tommy does look like the T-1000 from Terminator 2, so could have been. I mean, I don't know.
But again, this is just a setup for it because the only reason I bring it up as a setup for it because it plays into the next scene where afterwards the Flynns regroup, and it kind of shows that as Vic approaches Claudia, what is your actual business with Tommy? Who's this friend that told you about this lab?
It was Mai's back for the 10th episode. I mean, because their both phones went off at the same time. So
one Tommy bragging 3-0.
Yeah.
Like
blouses.
But here's the thing though, it wasn't 3-0, it was 3-2. Because they clearly killed 2 Serbs during that raid. They killed 2 Serbs during that raid.
Was it 3-0 because of the body or 3-0 because of the battles? I mean, they won the one at the bar. They won the one. Well, that would be 2. Either way, 3-0 blouses, and that's all that matters here. But the question is that both of their phones went off at the same time. Should have definitely sparked questions in terms of So it. I don't know. And that's why Vic is asking questions. So at this moment, I was like, oh shit, Vic is about to start turning to be smart, but That was short-lived, but
it took a while before he got smart. But next up was two things that didn't make sense. One, the first thing that actually didn't make sense. Tommy had moved the lab. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Last thing. The horsemen ran in like they were just regular, just like fill-in actors for.
We've been through this. They're what's my guys in the white costumes in the Star Wars movies? Stormtroopers. They're stormtroopers. Yeah. They're horsemen stormtroopers at this point because they are just there.
Actually, it's just like Captain Plasma, like from episode 7. You was like, who's this stormtrooper in all platinum? And then it was washed. Okay,
that's all the horsemen are at this point. They get killed. They get killed like anyone else. Just a regular shot and they taken out. They're like the super putties from Power Rangers, and you're like, wait a minute, like what? Why are you so?
There definitely was 4 Godars out there, like just trash. They did nothing. They
not with one Rita saying, "Let my monsters grow." Like none of that. We got none of that from them in this episode.
That's what Walter did when he poured out all his whiskey. He was trying to make them grow. I think they got defeated.
But next we get that Tommy's proven his intelligence here. After setting up Claudia with the lab set up, he had already moved the lab to a different location. Here we get the worst decision in the world. As Liliana tells the doctor, as you already brought up, it was very smart for her to say, and we understand that comes with care of her knowing Tommy, of saying, I need you to get out of here and run. Let's pay attention to the part that you literally told someone who could be a witness to everything, I'm going to let you go away with no problem here. Here's where I question if Liliana's ever been in any form of street life.
Well, but go.
No. At this point, I need to know your opinion.
I just think
this
that
scene with her just allowing the doctor just to leave.
Yeah, I think Liliana was thinking a couple of steps ahead. She's like, well, she's not here, then I can run this. And she keeps her importance. She wants to solidify her position and everything. She's so down for Tommy. I think there may be a small threat of where her position lies, because she started to mention, well, you need the chemist, but also he's not going to get rid of his brother. So that again puts it on me in terms of like, hey, am I still around? And that's such a very surreal moment for her to have to make that decision, because it's uncharacteristic. But so that's why I thought it had to be a little bit of a personal thing where she did give her the correct warning, but the execution of everything wasn't right. She should have gave her the warning, but then give her the ultimatum and saying, you're staying here. Yeah, I'm not letting you go nowhere. It's the same thing that Tommy gave her. Yeah. This is the safest place for you. Yeah, and we're talking jobs here. She said, like, well, I feel like my job's gonna get terminated because you got somebody that's of more importance of you right now. She's the only one that can cook this. And if I'm still learning and I really can't really do it as good, and plus I'm doing all these other different small things that isn't of your utmost importance, then JP comes in. That's your brother. Of course, you're gonna give him the time of day. I think that was just kind of where it was. So I just hated it, man. This was it was everything about Liliana's episode was just kind of crushing, because I just was just like, right here's where we also get Tommy letting her know we can't trust anybody. Yeah, and at this point, Tommy still thinks the Serbs may have put the hit out on him. Yeah, he's still trying to figure it out. And he's like, hey, what just happened? We can't trust anybody. I need you to arm up, because we never know what we're going to be facing here. It's an interesting thing, but it's still a horrible decision. Yeah, can we her letting the doctor leave. Can we talk about how they moved the whole lab to the docking bay of truth? Like it literally looked like the same place. Dude, I was expecting Andre to pop out of somewhere. I said, okay, where's Dre? Because clearly, like, well, where's 2-Bit? I need somebody to pop out here. Because other than that, it's not making sense to move it there. Hey, 2-Bit wasn't in this entire season. Remember, he was rumored to be in? He was clearly on IMDb as a listed actor for this show. Oh, let you know, Courtney took a Netflix deal and they said 2-Bit is gone. They like, you would not show for this show, buddy. Oh my god, it's funny though, because him and Paulina was on Instagram together, and they was kind of stirring up stuff, made it seem like he's about to make a cameo. So there's that.
Nothing. But next up, we get Claudia and Ric Flair, the last remaining horseman, as they end up.
No, Ric Flair was the first one that went and got the head and got killed. Clearly, the horniest of all of them. But
no. This is Rick, the last one, because he's the 15-time world champ. Like, he's the one who always lasts. So here we get him, and they talking about Dahlia. Here's where I had my biggest confusion with this episode. We understood at this point that this last horseman and the last horseman's father and Walter have a history with one another, and I'm assuming the father is one of the key figures in Dublin. The way this is played out here. But him and Claudia's conversation here about Dahlia and about Claudia understanding that her father just doesn't have the business under control. We've gone from her doing anything possible to get the love of her father to her screwing her father over and trying to move him out of the business. After everything that happened at the lab, what did you think about this scene about her still trying to push a drug that technically she had no one to make?
Yeah, exactly. That was my last bit of my notes on this, is that she's making this whole pitch without actually ending, without having any investors. We done seen this Ponzi scheme from a lot of folks. Fire, what was it called? The
Fire Festival?
Fire Festival? Yes, that's what it was. Like, I got this whole thing where you come in, blah, 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 and they never had it all settled. To me, I mean, yeah, she was selling wolf tickets. That's all this was. But beyond that, beyond her trying to make this deal, trying to dethrow her dad, this is the worst decision she could have made.
Yes.
Because not only did she not have a cook, and I know you folks are probably thinking very small here. The biggest issue is the bigger picture that we've already talked about.
Mm-hmm.
You are expressing to the horsemen to go back to the capital, to the home base in Dublin, and say she wants to step up. First of all, you already know how they're going to perceive women.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Strike one. Strike two, you're admitting that Walter is unfit. So, and
which
strike
makes
three,
me we need to remove him and not put you in place.
Like, I don't know what the hell you think is going to happen from here, but like, no. Yeah, let's just,
it made no sense.
And you basically exposed to him everything. So this horseman, which you know what I was thinking? I thought that Claudia was going to be the one to take the shot on him at the end, the kill shot, because I thought she was going to realize, like, oh shit, I fucked up. Because when he got shot, remember, he was just hurt. And I thought she was going to be the one. But listen, this is literally the worst thing ever. This is literally like a spam call, and they started asking you for your social security number, and you was like, no problem, here you go. And then 5 minutes later, you're like, oh shit.
This spam call where they threaten you and be like, hey, if you don't pay us now. Like, it made no sense that she came to the conclusion to attempt to pull this move off just because she understood that her dad with the drug sales were down. And you think, oh, this is the perfect time to offer a drug that I no longer have access to because I just screwed my partner on it.
Yeah,
it fully made no sense. But here's also the next thing is we get the full setup as JP goes back to get D-Mac's baby records for some procedure that's at this point because he's alive and talking. So I'm highly confused why they need his baby records. But here we get kidnapped after, and I'm combining all this in one so we can talk about it all as one. Because first we get the doctor who gets kidnapped to show Liliana's flaw in letting the doctor get away. Still don't understand how the doctor got kidnapped here because I thought Liliana told her to get away and not rent a car service to do that in a BMW as a car service at that. So she up this joint Uber premium in it, thinking that was going to quickly get her out of town.
Jesus Christ. But yeah.
But here we get Claudia who kidnaps her so she can find out, as she said, what is Tommy's weakness. I don't even know how much I need to. What did you think about this whole setup? We ain't got to spend a lot of time on it Because it's really a simple thing.
1 second on this one. JP looking at his picture of himself and his son. That's a duplicate. Am I correct?
Yeah, because D-Mac had the same picture.
Yeah, and I wonder, for one moment, I said, oh, is he pissed because his grandma knew something that he didn't know and never told him? And then he immediately got kidnapped. So the way that scene was shot, I was confused. I was like, is he mad? Or what happened? It looked like for a moment, he just kind of was just like, oh, fuck. Like, I opened up something I wasn't expecting. I'm pissed, but whatever. So that was one thought, and you folks can just kind of chime in on that in the comments. And then the other thing with the chemist is just completely nonsense. So next.
Yeah. I mean, and then the next thing, one of a few next things happened, and I know I'm mixing a lot of stuff up together because all this happened at one time. And that's JP meeting Kate. It's a very quick thing. Nice hug. He clearly loves her. She's everything that he ever wanted in a white mother. D-Mac calling, asking Tommy, who's this old white bitch in my room? And him letting him know that's your grandmother. And he's like, I got an old white bitch's grandmother. Again, it's a very comical moment at that point in time to have.
It doesn't look nothing like me. Kate is ridiculous.
Kate, hey. Kate will give you a line. And that was one of the funniest lines of the show. When she said, oh, he looks nothing like me.
One thing I want to say is, too, it's interesting that Kate never acknowledged Tariq as her grandson.
But we already know that's her favorite grandson. We ain't even worrying about that. Like, we already understand that Ghost is her one and only black son. Everybody else falls second to Ghost.
Don't know why.
That JP gave her that hug. I mean, he may be moving. He moved up on the ladder. He definitely in front of Tommy now. Everybody's in front of Tommy.
Hey, I'm just saying, if Kate would have somehow called him James by accident,
Hey, look here, because to Kate, white sons don't matter. So she only cares about black ones.
Hey, Kate is out here. Kate was down on the Capitol on Black
Matter Boulevard. She got a BLM shirt for sure, and that joint got ghost face on it. She let y'all know this is my baby.
Probably. Let's just keep going. I'm not gonna add nothing else to it, but. Hey yo, check Kate's Instagram. She got that black block on there. You know it. She blacked out for.
Oh man! At the same moment, the same meeting as we get JP leave to get again D-Mac's baby records, we also get Tommy fully finding out that Jannar wants him dead. This is the first confirmation we've gotten in this series. We constantly see Jannar talk about killing Tommy, but we never see Tommy knowing that Jannar wants him dead. What was your thoughts about the final revelation that, of Tommy finding out that, not only does he want me dead, but if he wants me dead, that means Diamond does not have control of CBI anymore.
Yeah, I'm just glad that the verbiage came out and within a dialogue to make everybody very clear that how these things connect. So I was like, finally, because we knew. But
yes.
For everybody that may not have knew, and for the context of the show, I was like, cool, finally, let's get past this. Let's go. Also, out of context, thank God Dirty Cop wasn't in this episode, but I digress.
Oh, man. Hey, because next up is Let's Make a Deal. That's all I called it. I literally wrote it in my notes. We have Jannar making a deal with Merkovich. We have Jannar making a deal with Walter. We have Walter making a deal with Jannar. We have Merkovich making a deal with Jannar. We have everyone making a deal surrounding killing Tommy. What is your thoughts of the Avengers forming to beat Thanos?
There's no way that Jannar was holding down CBI for all these years. There's no way he think that they actually was going to buy into that. Yeah, you literally said it. And what was Snowfall? I believe you said, yeah, Snowfall. If you took a body, it ain't nothing until they recruit that body back. And if the streets need a body, the streets need a body. That's what it is. And like street life. Hey, finally, I can go ahead and drop this. So Jannar, I don't know. Jannar was just out here. He was desperate. He was caught with his pants down. That's how I look at this whole thing. So.
I did find it interesting in his conversation with Merkovich when he says, help me with Tommy and Diamond, and Merkovich is quickly like, no, family business is family business. Basically, I'll help you with Tommy. I want no parts of what's going on with you and Diamond. And then we see Walter almost repeat the same thing of saying, what does Diamond think about this? I think this shows overall the fear and respect that Diamond has from everybody.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
What'd you think about Jannar's reaction to everything now?
I mean,
all these conversations.
Walter said it best later on in the episode. I thought you had this under control. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, I thought you had it under control.
Not the fear on his face when they brought up that he needed to take control of this.
So don't play us like no fool. Oh, street life. Streets need a body. Walter had his AirPods in and he was just like, yeah, it's about that time because
don't tell me Walter was listening to Streets Needed Bodies. He was pulling that alcohol out. He was like, street life.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Raising Kanan is literally just for that song alone.
At this point, I questioned it because I'm gonna give y'all my order after this episode's over. But I clearly question now because Streets Need a Body that's the shit. It gets brought up in everything we do at this point.
I ain't gonna lie, if y'all was friends with me on Apple Music, you'll see that joint is in my rotation. Like, shit, we had an 85-degree weather day. Guess what I was doing today?
Hey, you got to roll down the windows because the streets need a body.
That's right.
And everybody needs to know that the streets need a body.
Hey, Raising Kanan got a problem because they're not gonna be able to drop a better hit than that next season. But we'll see.
Nah, not at all. But next up, we get the meeting between Tommy and Diamond. Here, after Diamond has become the old Diamond all over again, and Tommy lets him know, like, hey, I need your help. We get the fracture, to talk about the fracture of CBI. We also get Tommy informing Diamond, like, look, I teamed with the Serbs because I needed this. We get two people who are accustomed to leading things on their own, having to reach out to outside people in this time of war. What did you think just about their quick conversation with one another? And just the ramifications of seeing not only them two join up, but fully understanding like they're joining up out of weakness than anything else.
For sure. And camaraderie. The two of them have been very, very it's a good word here. They've been trying to not
they've been Russia and Belarus. I know that's a horrible comparison for a lot of people right now.
Yeah.
But it is the comparison between the two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like they like, to me, like they don't want to be brothers. They have brothers. One has an active brother, one lost one, and they realized that like they've respected each other since day one. Mm-hmm. And there's no reason to deny that at this point. And now that they're both in the act of desperation, they realize like, yo, you've been A1 since day one. So let's do what we got to do. Yep. And it was almost one of those like what's understood don't need to be said type of thing. But because they kind of had to rekindle everything that they already knew about one another, the conversation had to be had. So like, this is obviously a scene where you can say like, oh, they could have just got rid of it for time's sake. But no, it was super important because you had to understand, you know, what made them be aligned again. So I loved it. Yeah.
And after that, we get the full kidnap scene of JP, and then we get the Sinister Six call Tommy about them having JP. Wait
a minute. Did you just who is JP? Aunt May?
Yes, clearly at this point, JP is Aunt May. Because this is
Mary Jane. Either way, you try to say he's a woman.
I absolutely hated this scene of everybody getting on the phone with Tommy to pour out their grievances on their issues with Tommy.
That's my son.
He
was John Q in it. And
hey, from Claudia, like, because we're gonna kill you. Then Vic, yeah, because you killed Gloria. Then all of a sudden Jannar, yeah, because you teamed up with Diamond and Walter, because you know. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't need everybody's voice at that point in time. Like, could y'all not have a meeting and decide one person is going to talk here, and that one person is going to give Tommy the threat, instead of him needing to talk to every villain and find out what's going on here. I hated this scene. What did you think about this scene?
Next. That's what I felt. Just next.
Hey, next up literally in my notes. I wish I could show y'all my notes, but I keep my notes on the Microsoft Surface because no one is paying us advertising, so I'm not going to say the exact device that I have it on. So it's a Microsoft Surface. But all I have written in my notes here is all out war, because here's where we get Diamond and Tommy come to the meeting after they decide that, hey, we've come up with a conclusion and a solution on how to set up everybody. They have a full army. It's 3 of us. This is what we're going to do here. But here we get the all-out war after it's exposed with Diamond and Tommy. I'm just going to ask you point blank and simple, and then we'll get into the issues I had with this scene. What did you think about the all-out war scene? Not necessarily the conclusions we get for a lot of things that don't fully make sense, but just to set up leading into this all-out war / shootout.
I mean, the setup that Tommy and Diamond had, I thought I'll go with it. I'll just let that slide. I started to count numbers. That's the first thing I started to do. Mm-hmm. I looked at setup. There's a lot of things that was kind of interesting, like Liliana coming from the back. I was like, wait, what? How didn't see that? But whatever. And also, she had a truck. I said, where the hell she get that from? But
she literally pulled up in Denali, and no one noticed she was behind them.
Yeah, just whatever. The biggest thing is back to what I said earlier. This man Vic ran out like Paris, who is Hector's little brother, to try to fight Achilles. And literally, it was the worst thing, because at this point now, Paulie and Vic was just like, Paulie and Walter was like, yep. You don't know what's back there.
Hey, Walter said enough in this scene. My boy, give my boy. Like, I was like, no.
But what's important here is that Paulie, as we have said, he's been very fond of Vic, also seems to be very much fond of Walter over everything. But I also think there's one thing that we have not said, is that, well, Paulie's smart. He already knew Walter was behind all of this.
Clearly he knew.
So he was just like, Tommy, he just, I felt like Paulie just knew how this was all going to play out and said, just wait. Much like he said earlier, just wait and see how it happened. And guess what? All of them went back home. So the setup was kind of like fugazi, but I don't know, I guess. But like, yeah, just the Vic running ahead was the silliest thing in the entire world. And you know, I don't know if we're gonna can I just talk about everything? Because Liliana.
Oh no, I said all out war. We can talk about everything in this.
Yeah, Liliana being shot by Claudia broke my heart. I was sad. Claudia, I guess, admitted towards Tommy that she did it.
She tried to make a deal with him at the end, and he said we'll never be okay.
Yeah. So, you know, and I can't wait for him to cancel Christmas on her, because the streets need a body.
And there's no way she should be able to survive.
Yeah. And so I don't know, man. And the biggest thing for me here is the biggest question I know you all are asking right now is why no one decided to help Liliana. Tommy said, get the car. I mean, they wrote her off. I mean, did they want her gone? Like, I'm confused.
Here's the weirdest part of it all. Did you see Claudia shoot her and act like she regretted shooting her?
Yeah, but I mean, but let's not forget, Claudia has only got caught 2 bodies. She's not a shooter. She's not a killer.
Here's the thing. You shot her center mass. What did you think was going to happen? You think she was going to live?
Who and Liliana was only shooting at the horsemen.
Yeah.
And when the second thing, she was running up, I don't think she was going to take the shot, but I think she had the drop on them. And I think everybody was just, chess. Claudia just really just blew me on that. Like, not because we lose one of my favorite characters this season, but it's just because, like, Claudia, I had so much faith in how smart you were, and you literally just took, the whole deck of cards you played and just stood up in the air. So I'm just, I don't know, man. And Jannar whole thing was just silly, and Jannar
has a hard on for killing Tommy at this point. That's all he cares about.
Yeah, and he didn't have a plan. CBI guy was kind of like, wait, what? You trying to divide CBI? So the CBI crew is completely broke up right now. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, we get the conversation between him and Diamond there after Diamond tracks him down after Jannar tries to kill him again. And he says, you take up top and I take all of this down here. Yeah, I'm confused why Diamond just didn't kill Jannar, but neither here nor there, because once you try to kill me, I'm not leaving you alive.
Yeah, he spared them, and maybe because Diamond's not a killer, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting what's up with CBI next.
It leaves so many questions in the wind from this scene, and just how every relationship breaks up, from Diamond being able to track down Jannar after Jannar has tried to kill him multiple times at this point, and instead of killing him, he brokers a deal with him.
Yeah, I just want to bring up my biggest points of all of this. My biggest things to take away with this is that, folks, we think the Serbs took, and this is what the episode says, so don't get me wrong. The episode said that the Serbs went after Vic and Gloria because of Walter killing the 3 Serbs. As we said, body for a body, streets for a body. But there's one narrative that everyone's forgetting. One very important narrative that this episode alone should have told you that that's not correct. And this is my only gripe with the writing. The Serbs can be bought. They put beefs aside for everything.
For money, for big amounts of money, they care less.
CBI caught a body. Tommy caught a body. How were they able to have a meeting with them without any issue?
Money.
And Walter went and caught a body, so they don't retaliate without. And even if they do decide to retaliate in the sense of retaliation, I think they also understand that, like, this is one for one in this scenario.
Yes.
So to me, just my personal thing, I think Walter cut the deal with the Serbs, paid them.
I've been thinking that this whole time that Walter cut the deal with the Serbs.
and said get it done. And folks, I just want to be clear. The Serbs work on commission, or not commission. They do ad hoc service. If you pay them, they'll do the job.
That's literally that's commission.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Right. Or it depends on what commission, because it's like there's a commission that works for free until you make the money that you do the work for, or the other commission, the drug commission. This is a case of, I feel that Walter says, I need you to take care of my son. I'm sorry, I need you to take care of Gloria, and I need you to make it look like I didn't have anything to do with it. And they cut.
My son can't know it's me.
Yeah. Now the question is, I was going to say that, well, the Serbs haven't technically been marksmen, but this episode showed different. So could they actually do a hit where they can kill Gloria and injure Vic without killing him to perfection? Well, if there's anybody that can do it, it's the Serbs and the Horsemen. Well, maybe, but no, clearly no. So to me, yeah, I just want to make it very clear that, folks, Walter paid the Serbs to make that hit. That I'm dying on that mountain. That's how I feel. And the fact that nobody helped Liliana is bullshit. And Claudia trying to play chess the entire time seems smart, absolutely stupid. That's my piece before we talk about the last part of this segment.
Hey, because we're gonna breathe through it, because we are at an hour and 30 minutes here. Last couple things. The complete truth comes out about Walter, and possibly be everything set up by Walter. Everything is because of Walter. Technically, we fully understand at this point Walter did not necessarily kill Gloria, but she only died because of what Walter did, because of what Vic did. That's why we're confused why Vic is so mad. The next scene, I'm gonna have you answer all of this at once at the end here. Next scene, we get random black people and random black DA, as we get Tommy called Ghost here, as we get a new DA, and then we get Detective Rodriguez. We get Jenny. All of them are supposed to be in New York, but somehow, some way, they care about Chicago business, because New York and Chicago are only 30 minutes away from one another. After that, we get the new teams are formed: Diamond, Tommy, and JP, because JP's now a drug dealer or kingpin of some form that we just do not know about. And at this point, we get Diamond circling the map as he shows his little piece of property, his little pie in the sky, where he can move as many bricks as he wants to through this little part that Louis left him after she decided to take Teddy and his advance to take the connect away from Tommy. Here we also get Tommy letting him know that he wants to fully take over Chicago. No longer does he care about the drug that we literally took the entire season to build up. One quick question here. What did you think about the close of the episode?
So all of that, I will truncate to saying, here's what we expect from season 2.
Yes.
So we got the Ghost name drop. So that's clearly putting emphasis that, you know, this Ghost character from New York seems to be in Chicago from all these random black folks.
Of course.
Jenny Sullivan looking good. Changed her hair a little bit after Cooper Saxton served her up in court. She seems to have business elsewhere, which is good for her because I think she's a good character. I would have wished we got more from Power Book 2, but it played out the way it is. So maybe we get her more on hands in Power Book 4 Force, but she's never met Tommy. So that's going to be interesting. The question is, what's her relationship with Tommy going to be if they ever get in a connection? Does this turn into Ghost and Angela Part 2? I know y'all want to hear it, so I'm just going to say it.
I don't want white Ghost and white Angela.
I know y'all want to hear it. I know y'all want to hear it. Detective Blanca Rodriguez, who is just obsessed with the bullshit. That's just what it is.
All these crimes happen in New York,
and she's I
mean in Chicago. I'm sorry, and she's in New York.
Yeah, and New York is. I mean, either
the only thing to pay attention to is at the end, the last horseman, Ric Flair, when he died. Did that say DA officer, or was that just a foul on him on the DEA?
I don't know, sir. Why didn't you mention this earlier?
When she opens up the file, I'm not sure if it said DEA officer, or if it just said official DEA file on him.
Oh, well,
because then that brings hell of a lot of questions.
Well, yeah, and I mean, with her interest, with everything that's happening now, let's just be clear, you know, with the Irish crime activity in Chicago, that's drawing the attention of Detective Blanca Rodriguez, since she's still a detective as of right now.
I love how the Irish mob and all this stuff in Chicago has brought the attention of people in New York.
Right.
I want y'all to understand just how poweristic that sounds.
Right, and I get it.
Because Tariq is still in New York. So you're telling me everything that's going on with the Tejadas is not drawing your attention in New York. But what Tommy's doing in Chicago is drawing your attention.
So hold on. So answer the question. What are you saying? The DEA corrections update.
When Blanca opens the
no.
file,
I know what you're talking about. What part of it that you're saying?
I was just wondering about that file.
Okay, cool. I got the answer for you real quick. So that file says the Detective Corrections Update. So
a detective correction update, would that mean that he's actually a cop?
Well, here's the big thing. With his death, that pretty much debunks any type of hope that Claudia has into the backing into her bid for the lead of the Flynn. So that's just that. I just think that, like, no, he's just a big player, and there's already a case on him. That's all it is. He's not that's all it is.
I was just wondering, and then I also wonder, why did Blanca have it and not why we didn't see the DA office in all in Chicago, that the 3 that we saw that we've kind of been waiting to see more of this season. Why wouldn't they have that file to build the case on Tommy?
Yeah, and also too, I mean, we know Blanca knows Tommy, and the other folks got the picture of Tommy. Blanca's easily gonna be able to identify. They're all different. They're one's police, one's federal. So, like, yes, they're not just working together unless there's probable cause. There's shit happening in New York for this whatever reason that she would leave New York for this. I'm just confused. Unless, I mean, she's still in New York. Yeah, she's definitely in New York because she showed up at the.
All of it's still in New York, and we're in Chicago.
She showed up at the Tejadas thing.
Hey, down to the guy saying, Mecca. Hey, no, not Mecca. Here in this episode, when he says, hey, pass that on to the Chicago field office.
Yeah, she still should be trying to wrap up this whole mecha thing.
It made no sense. I understood the need to attempt to connect all the Power universe together and to use them to do that, but I didn't need that. I understand all of this is connected to one another without unnecessarily force Blanca Rodriguez appearance. I'm good with that.
So last names for me is Claudia and Vic sticking together. Walter and Paulie. Walter's completely hurt. He poured out his whole bottle. He's still dealing with cancer, folks, so let's not forget that.
Yep.
We'll see what happens with that. Maybe he does take the treatment now that he realized that, well, what else? What else is there?
Yep.
Yeah. No more Dahlia. Tommy said we're up to bigger things, the whole map. Okay, so what are you about to do? A guns dealer? Because that's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing I can think of bigger right now.
He said take over Chicago, so there's no telling.
Yeah, I don't know. He's doing the Queen's Child Project. There it is. And the last question, the last question.
The Windy City Child Project now.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll yeah, what's up? I'll be a investor. Let's get it. The last thing for me is that if Tommy tags and registration was fake when they got pulled over early in the season, the ramifications should have been much bigger.
Automatically pulled up everything.
Should have been much bigger. It shouldn't have been like I think they say they were aspired. I don't know, but even if they were fake, it should have been much bigger. White privilege still would have sent off a ton of alarms, but I don't know. They brought up that they said that he has New York tags and that they pulled up the tags and that they were fake. So there's that. So I guess, folks, that's how he's getting around undetected. But he goddamn has to lose that car. But yeah, I mean, they got pulled over.
Tommy's never getting rid of his car.
Yeah, I mean, wait, when he got pulled over before, I mean, when Diamond was in the car and the cop checked him, I don't think they checked him because of his tags. Or did they say something about his registration? I can't remember. I think they did. I think they did say something about his registration to Diamond. Then Tommy came back and was like, hey.
Yeah,
I think so too. But I don't know. Just bringing that up made me think like, wait, the tag thing could have been bigger, but whatever. But anyway, that's all I got for this. That's all I got.
I said that's it because that's the end of my notes. As we got to the end of the episode, as Tommy wants to take over New York, as we get him smoking a cig at the end of the episode. So, overall review with the finale. Season 1 is over. What are you looking forward to for season 2 of Power Book 4 Force?
Yeah, I mean, we still got the whole what's his name? God, Freddie Gibbs and his crew, cousin Buddy. We still got them on Bay. I feel like there's other territories to explore in Chicago. Let's not forget about what's his name that's in California. Where does he stand? I mean, if folks in New York are hearing about what's happening in Chicago, do you think California's hearing about things too? So I just kind of want to see where things go forward with it. I want to get away from Tommy's psychology now and start to explore something a little different because we just spent the whole season on that and family. So I want to see something a little bit different, and I also want to see who's going to be the next big recurring character. I'm curious to see what that next character is going to be. I mean, with Liliana being gone, there's a huge gap in that type of character.
Huge gap. Especially a huge gap in the amount of people that Tommy trusts.
Yeah, and Paulie, he made it through the entire season. I keep saying Guy Van Swearinger, who plays Paulie, has been one of my favorite characters, and
he's been killing it this season.
Yeah, so
absolutely killing it as Paulie.
Yeah, and I'm waiting to see what's more for him because he's back season 2, and now he doesn't just become one of the Flynns. It is Walter and him. That's
it. No one else is there.
So
as we've been waiting for the breakup for the Flynn family this whole season, and we finally get in the last episode.
Yeah, so that's it. I'm excited, man, and who knows when this is coming? Probably 2023, probably January of next year.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, we'll see.
So again, thank everyone out there for tuning in for this inaugural first season of Power Book 4 Force with us. Again, we are the Power Podcast to check out because we are here answering everything on Nigerians. After every episode comes out, you can check us out, check our review out, let us know what you think. Again, we love the interaction. We love the point that you all do check us out. And check out any other content on Big Gold Belt. Again, we have a huge gap of time between the next Power series and what we're going to be doing. We have multiple things coming up.
We got our next show. I don't know if people
got our next show coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a hitter. I think some of y'all are going to like. We still got another show finishing out its last episode of the season. And then we got multiple content coming up around from multiple content creators with Big Gold Belt that we think you all will really enjoy. So don't let your experience with us end with this season of Power. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, tune in. We got so much more stuff for you all to enjoy. Any last words, sir?
That's it, folks. Y'all have a good night. I know this was a long review. We appreciate it. It was the finale, so we had to put it into overtime. So that it is. So much more content. Definitely in the comments, let us know your thoughts about tonight's episode, your favorite parts, predictions for season 2, other news that you may hear about. You know, 50 Cent's been talking about wanting to buy the Power series. You know,
stop it.
He's just throwing things out there. But hey, throw it all in there, man. Whatever y'all got for Power,
all
Power.
Courtney, content. Like, look here, my 200 million from Netflix says if I wanted to buy it, I would buy it right now.
There's that. So yeah, but thank y'all so much for tuning in. And we won't see you back next week because that's a wrap. But we'll see you back for the next Power show in the Power universe. So we'll see you then.